Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for agreeing to do this interview. We have done quite a few yet with our wonderful musicians. And so we're doing these interviews to kind of introduce ourselves to our wonderful audience members and patrons and sponsors and donors. Because it's great to be in the concert hall listening to live music, but it's kind of distant too. So I just have a couple of questions that I ask all our musicians, and the first question is the same to you. How did you get into music, and why the instrument you play? Why not something else?
Well, when I was 9 years old, we lived in California, and they taught music in the schools, and I was in the fourth grade, fifth grade, whatever. Anyway, we had all these choices and things to choose from, and I picked the violin because my mother played the violin.
So no band before that?
No, nothing before that.
You didn't play?
Well, I played the piano. My mother was a piano teacher, so I knew how to read music and played the piano a little bit. But anyway, so I started there, and then we moved to Alabama right before my sixth grade year. Well, there's no music in the schools here, or there wasn't. So I started taking private lessons, and I think I was the only person in my high school that played a stringed instrument. I played with the youth orchestra, and that's how I got started.
So once we are at this, how do you see string education now in Alabama? Has it changed since you were a kid? Has it gotten better?
It has. It has, and I don't know all of the ins and outs. I don't teach, so I'm not involved in all that, but I know the symphony school teaches, and they come, I think it's at third grade, that they go to the schools and have some education there, so the kids are, and then these young people's concerts with the busing in all the fourth graders. I've had two grandkids that have come through there and enjoyed that.
So when you picked up the violin back in California, did you just take like private lessons, or was there chamber music or orchestra, youth orchestra?
It was just in the school. I mean, we had lessons at school and practice time, and I wasn't involved in any groups at that point. I think.
And later, when you came here,
I started.
Was there any like youth orchestra?
Yeah, the youth orchestra was here, and I
I
don't remember if I started with them in seventh grade or eighth grade, but I did play with them all through high school and into middle school. And then I actually auditioned for the symphony my senior year of high school. Okay. So I have been playing for a long time.
Nice. So that leads me to the next question. How did you get into the orchestra? You just answered that. You auditioned and you got accepted. But also, like, if you can remember your very first show that you played with this orchestra, if you can.
I do not remember.
You don't? Okay.
I've played a lot of shows over the years.
Maybe a memorable show that you say, like, okay, I've been playing here for decades, and I remember this particular event, this particular soloist. Anything that kind of stays with you?
I do, and I don't remember the soloist's name, but one year we were doing the Carnival of the Animals for the young people's concerts, and we had another concert at the same time, and the pianist, and I don't remember her name, but she had her little dog with her that she always brought when she came to anything, and they were backstage, and I don't know if there's one or two dogs, but anyway, it got out of its little kennel and came running out on the stage during the Carnival of the Animals. So that was a little exciting.
Are you a dog person?
I am. Yeah, I am.
How many dogs?
I don't have any right now.
Oh,
but
okay.
my last one was 17 when she died. So I am between work and symphony and family. I don't have a lot of time at home, so I don't have an animal right now.
And you live in town?
I live in Madison.
In Madison, okay,
Yep.
okay.
Been here most of my life.
Yeah, cool. I guess this place has changed a lot, even since I'm here, right? In the last maybe 13 years, and it's growing. I skip one question and then I get back to the other one. How do you see, in particular here, because you've been doing this, you're in this business for a long time, and also in this area, like how do you see the future, just like a big question, future of the classical music, future of classical music in general, here in and around Huntsville, and also just in general, maybe in the US, and what your experience is like, did it go a certain way that you didn't like, or maybe there is hope for the future? How do you see it?
Oh, there's always hope for the future. I do feel like the crowds are not as big as they used to be. there's a lot of choices, things to do, and I don't know how. I think the classical music maybe is just not as appreciated as much as it used to be. The kids growing up are not so much interested in that kind of music, and I do like that we do the Pops concerts in the other series. That brings in obviously a different crowd, but they seem to be popular. And after the New Year's Eve concert, when I was walking out, there was a couple that had been at the concert and were telling me they enjoyed it. And they said that was their first concert. And I'm like, well, I hope you'll come back. And they said, I think we will. So, like, it does attract people that might not necessarily come. But.
Yeah, from my point of view, the difficulty with Pop's programming is that you're always very particular with your favorite music, right?
Right.
You like the music, you love the music you grew up with when you were a kid or a teenager, and then it never overlaps with your parents' generation's liking or your kids.
Right.
And so you're always targeting a different audience. But I guess the New Year's Eve shows that we are doing are kind of trying to cover a bigger crowd.
I think so, because like I said, some of those Pops concerts are very specific, but the Queen music or whatever, the Disney music, and those are popular. People love Disney movies and that kind of thing.
So you don't teach, but you see a lot of young kids, I guess, who do play an instrument, right?
Not a lot, but some, yeah.
I like to just generally say that if they have music in their life, it's already good. It doesn't have to be classical music.
Yeah.
But do you see a difference between kids from the past when you were a kid and how they consume music or how they enjoy music? And you think those habits have changed, maybe?
Oh, for sure, especially with the technology now. Everybody's got their little ear pods in, listening to whatever they want to. When we were growing up, you listened to what was on the radio. So now they can pick what they want, and I do think that is different. I tell people that think music isn't important. I think, try watching a movie with no music.
Yep.
It's not the same. Music is very important.
So what music do you listen to when you're not working with your brain, listening to, let's say, a piece that we are playing or something like that?
I actually listen to lots of music. I listen to classical. I listen like classic rock, sometimes a little bit of country.
Okay.
But I like all kinds of music.
Do you also like live concerts, like country music concert? Would you buy a ticket? Would you go to I don't know, the Mars Music Hall and listen to someone? Like, is it something that you do?
I might. I don't do that very often, and I find myself, because there's so many opportunities for playing around here, that I tend to not go to things unless I'm playing for them. So every now and then I go to something and I think I should do this more. Because it is nice to sit in the audience and listen, and it's great to listen to live music. I have some friends that like to come to our concerts, and then she's just, one of them is just wowed. She's like, this is awesome, it's just so great to come here and listen to the live music, and y'all do such a great job.
So where else do you play? You said there are a lot of opportunities around here.
Well, I do a lot of church gigs. I have played with Tuscaloosa a couple of times and a couple of other places, but mostly just church things in addition to symphony.
And it's mostly classical music, right? That you play, or?
Yeah, the church things are like Christmas and Easter, those kind of things, but mostly classical.
And you said and this is the last question, you said you don't have much time outside of work and family, but if you have like a free weekend, let's say, what do you do for fun? Any hobbies or anything that you like to do when you're not playing the violin or listening to music?
Well, I like to crochet. I like to bake. I like to make jelly and bake things.
What do you bake?
And all kinds of stuff. I have 4 grandchildren, and I love hanging out with them. And I'm also a caretaker for my father, so that keeps me busy.
So do you have a specialty that's grandma's specialty? Bake good for your grandkids that they always request, like, please make?
There is a certain kind of cookie that we make, and they have a horrible name. They're called sour milk cookies, which basically you take milk and add vinegar to it, which is the same thing you do for buttermilk. So I think they're buttermilk cookies. That's one of our family favorite recipes, and people request that a lot.
Nice. Well, you could bring me a sample next time.
Not this weekend.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.